Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. NEET application date already നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, നിങ്ങൾ അറിയിച്ചിരുന്നു. അതിനുശേഷം മോർണിംഗ് എവ്രിവൺ. ശരി, സൗണ്ടും എല്ലാം പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫൈൻ. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ നീറ്റിന്റെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷന്റെ ഡേറ്റ് ഓൾറെഡി നിങ്ങൾ അറിയിച്ചിരുന്നു അല്ലെ? അപ്പൊ നീറ്റിന്റെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷന്റെ ഡേറ്റ് ഓൾറെഡി ഔട്ടായി. എല്ലാത്തിന്റെയും ബേസിക് ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് തരിക എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ് വീഡിയോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആക്ച്വലി അത് സൗണ്ടും എല്ലാം പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫൈൻ. അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ നീറ്റിൽ ഇന്നലെ ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. ഇതാണ് നമ്മളപ്പോൾ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ്സ് കിട്ടി, അതിന്റെ എല്ലാ വിധത്തിലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളും വായിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയതിന് ശേഷം വീഡിയോ ചെയ്യാം എന്നുള്ളൊരു ധാരണയുടെ പുറത്ത് നമ്മൾ വായിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കുകയും അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഒരുവിധപ്പെട്ട എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും നമ്മളൊരു ഒരു ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് എന്തൊക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ വേണം എന്നതിന്റെ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് തരിക എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഉദ്ദേശത്തിൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വീഡിയോ ആണ്. ഈ വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് കടക്കാം. ആദ്യം ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു ബേസിക് ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തരാം. ആ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ എന്നുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് നീറ്റിന്റെ ഒരു വ്യത്യാസങ്ങൾ വരുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നീറ്റിന്റെ ബേസിക് ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് ആദ്യം നോക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിന്റെ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻസ് വരുന്നത് ഈ ഒരു രീതിയിലാണ്. അതായത് അതിന്റെ ഒരു ബേസിക് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്ന മാറ്റങ്ങൾ. ഒന്ന്, നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടത് ഓൺലൈൻ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഫോമിന്റെ ഡേറ്റ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് ജൂലൈ 13 ഇന്നലെ വൈകുന്നേരമാണ് ആക്ച്വലി ഇത് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 6 വരെ നമുക്ക് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും. അപ്പൊ ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 6 വരെ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, നമ്മൾ ഒരിക്കലും അവസാനത്തെ ദിവസം വരെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യരുത്. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? നെവർ വെയിറ്റ് ടിൽ ദി ലാസ്റ്റ് മൊമെന്റ്. വെയിറ്റ് ടിൽ ദി ലാസ്റ്റ് മൊമെന്റ്. ഒരിക്കലും ലാസ്റ്റ് മൊമെന്റ് വരെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യരുത്. എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന്, അതായത് ഒരു 2-3 ദിവസത്തിനകം പതുക്കെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. ആദ്യമേ ചെയ്യാനും നിൽക്കണം, നമുക്ക് 2 ദിവസം വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അത് ഒരു മാക്സിമം വിതിൻ ഒരു 1 വീക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മാക്സിമം ഒരു 10 ഡേയ്സിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ്സ് എല്ലാ അർത്ഥത്തിലും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിരിക്കണം. 10 ഡേയ്സ് എടുക്കരുത്. എൻ്റെ അഭിപ്രായത്തിൽ വിതിൻ 7 ഡേയ്സ്, ഇന്ന് മുതൽ ഒരു 7 ഡേയ്സ് 27/7/2021 ഉള്ളിൽ ബിഫോർ ജൂലൈ 20 നിങ്ങളത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം. ഓൾറൈറ്റ്, ഫൈൻ. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു കാര്യം എല്ലാവരും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഫീസ് അടയ്ക്കുക എന്നുള്ള എല്ലാ പ്രോസസ്സും നിങ്ങൾ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. ലാസ്റ്റ് ഡേറ്റിനെ പറ്റി നിങ്ങൾ ചിന്തിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ലാസ്റ്റ് ഡേറ്റിനെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നില്ല. നിങ്ങളെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് നിങ്ങളുടെ ലാസ്റ്റ് ഡേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 20 ജൂലൈ ആണ്. അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ നിങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാ പ്രോസസ്സും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവണം. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ചിലർക്ക് വരാൻ സാധ്യതയുള്ള സംശയം, നമ്മൾ ഈ റിസർവേഷനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഒന്നും ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് അപ്ഡേറ്റഡ് അല്ല, അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് റിസർവേഷൻ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ കിട്ടിയിട്ടല്ലേ എനിക്ക് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെയല്ല. ഇത്തവണത്തെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ്സ് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ക്വിക്ക് ആക്കുന്നതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഇത് 2 ഫേസ് ആയിട്ടാണ് നടത്തുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഫേസിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് റിസർവേഷന്റെ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഒന്നും ആവശ്യമില്ല. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പെട്ടെന്ന് തന്നെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ പ്രോസസ്സ് തുടങ്ങുകയും അതുമായി മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാനും സാധിക്കും. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ മനസ്സിലായി എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു എല്ലാവർക്കും. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ശരി, അതിന്റെ ഫർദർ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഞാൻ പറയാം. ഇതിന്റെ ഫീസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 1500 രൂപയാണ്. ജനറൽ കാറ്റഗറിക്ക് 1500 രൂപയാണ്. എക്കണോമിക്കലി വീക്കർ സെക്ഷന് 1400 രൂപയാണ്. OBC കാറ്റഗറിക്ക്, നോൺ ക്രീമി ലെയർ OBC കാറ്റഗറിക്ക് 1400 രൂപയാണ്. SC ST എന്താ പറയുക, തേർഡ് ജെൻഡർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾക്കും അതേപോലെ ഫിസിക്കലി ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾക്കും കോസ്റ്റ് വരുന്നത് 800 രൂപയാണ്. 800 രൂപയാണ്, 800 rupees ആണ്. And of course, for the students who are actually from outside India, for the students who are from outside India, we have to, the amount is actually 7,500 rupees. The amount is 7,500 rupees. All right. Now, then of course, ഇതിനകത്ത് GST amount ഒക്കെ വരുന്ന കാണിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ 1500 രൂപ അക്കൗണ്ടിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് ആരും don't actually start by doing with 1,500. Always keep a little bit of extra amount of doing it. All right. ശരി. Then the next thing is then of course exam date is of course 12th September. It is on a Sunday. Exam duration is of course 3 hours, and the timing of the examination is from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. 2 മണി മുതൽ 5 മണി വരെയാണ്. Okay, but of course the further details will be actually intimated to you. So as I said, as a conclusion, what I would like to say is that you should complete your application before 20th July. I'm sorry, we have to complete your application before 20th July. As far as you are concerned, your last date is 20th July. You have to complete everything, complete the payment and everything before 20th July. Of course, there are students for whom exam results have not come. For students whose class 12 results have not come, of course you have to wait. The others, that means that students who are belonging to regular batch, that means that class 12 students cannot actually do that now because your class 12 results are yet to be declared. Seller class 12 results are yet to be declared. So those students can wait. The other students has to complete before 20th July. Every process should be complete. All right. And for completing your application, all the details regarding your reservation certificates is not required as of now. You just have to know that you are belonging to that category. That's it. All right, you have to make sure that you are belonging to that category. If you select a AWS category, if you select an OBC category, if you select an SC category, you have to make sure that you will have the certificate by certain date, not by now. The application complete and that is not required. Fine, sharing. Now let us look into. So this is the basic introduction that I would like to give you regarding the examination. That is the exam day. That is the exam date, the last date of application, and of course the another thing that you need to know is the status regarding reservation certificates. Okay, the status regarding reservation certificates is also something that you need to keep in mind. Three things are very important for you. Fine, so that's done. Now the next thing that I would like to say to you is regarding the pattern of the examination. This year, there is a change in the pattern of the examination. Pattern of the examination has seen very drastic change. Of course, we will be giving you detailed information regarding what is what is the effect of the change in pattern. Of course, we'll be giving information regarding that to you. But for now, I'll be just briefly explaining what is the change in pattern, and a detailed video. You will be receiving a detailed video on how you have to change your preparation methods and what are the precautions that you're supposed to take when it is regarding the pattern of the examination. That will be sent to you as a separate video. Fine. Now, because that is not a part of the application process, that is the reason why. Now, just understand the pattern. There is going to be 50 questions in your physics. That means that every subject, actually, till now we had PCB, that is physics, chemistry, and biology. Now it is perfectly defined into physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. And each part will be having 50 questions. Each part will be having 50 questions. That means that every section, if I take physics alone, for instance, if I'm taking physics alone, I will just do a basic explanation. That means that if I'm taking physics alone, the physics alone will be actually divided into two sections. This will be in turn divided into two sections, say section A and section B. It will be divided into section A and section B. Section A will be having 35 questions, which are actually compulsory, that are compulsory questions. These questions are actually compulsory. Then, of course, section B will be having 15 questions. Section B will be having 15 questions, out of which you need to attend only 10 questions. You need to attend only 10 questions. And you have the liberty to leave 5 questions. That is, section A, 35 ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവുകയും അത് compulsory ആണ്. That is compulsory to attend these questions. And section B, നമുക്ക് 15 ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവും. ഈ 15 ചോദ്യങ്ങളിൽ 10 എണ്ണം നമ്മൾ അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്താൽ മതിയാവും. Okay. In the section A, we have some students from Tamil Nadu also. So ഞാൻ കുറച്ചൊന്ന് തമിഴിലും കൂടെ പറയാണ്, മലയാളികളൊന്ന് കാര്യങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. So section A பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நமக்கு 35 questions இருக்கும். அதெல்லாமே compulsory ஆன questions தான், நம்ம அதை அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணியே ஆகணும். ஆனா நம்ம செக்ஷன் பி பார்க்கும்போது செக்ஷன் பில நமக்கு 15 questions இருக்கும். இந்த 15 questionsல நம்ம 10 questions மட்டும் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணா போதும். புரியுதா? I hope it is clear now. Now, regarding this, of course, this is same for your chemistry, that is same for your zoology, this is same for your botany. Of course, we will be giving you detailed information regarding this in the upcoming video. All right, so idu namakku ivada avasanipikam. We will leave it as it is. Just understanding that is a change in pattern is enough. How to deal with this change in pattern, we will be actually explaining to you in a short period of time. Now, of course, there is something called as eligibility. Eligibility is no age limit as of now. You have to class your class 12 with PCB and English. That's it, nothing else. No eligibility criteria is as of now mentioned. Only this much information is required for you. All right. Now, of course, there is a limit that if you are actually over the age of 25, there is a case that is pending in your Supreme Court. All right. So if Supreme Court decides that students above 25 cannot take admission, you will be able to write NEET, but you will not be able to get admission. That depends upon what is the ruling of the Supreme Court in the coming time. So those who are actually above the age of 25 can write the examination, but your admissions will not be confirmed till the ruling of the Supreme Court comes in. Fine. Sure. Now we need to look at the documents that you need to be ready with. That is, when we are actually starting the application process, application process, what are the process documents that you actually need to be ready with? You have to be ready with the photograph. You have to be ready with photograph. How many photographs? 2 photographs. How many photographs? You need to be ready with 2 photographs. And what are those 2 types of photographs? I will not say 2 photographs. That is not the correct statement. I will say 2 types of photograph. 2 types of photograph. photographs. What are the two types of photographs? The two types of photograph are, say, passport size photo and postcard size photo. What are the two types of photographs? One of them is passport size photo, which is of the and the next one is postcard size photo. Don't be get confused that you don't need to look into the dimensions and all, okay? Because the person who is actually giving you this photo will know. If we go to a studio, they will actually know which is the standard size. Don't worry about that. All right, they will know this thing. And the most important thing that you should keep that in mind or keep in mind is that when you are actually uploading these photographs, there are certain conditions that you're supposed to follow. We'll see what are the different conditions that you're supposed to follow. I'll be writing everything here, okay? I'll be writing everything here. So regarding the photographs, all right, so regarding the photographs, the things that we have to keep in mind is that there are two types of photographs, And what are the two types of photograph? Two types of photograph. One of them is, as I said, going to be called as your passport size, which is the regular one. And the next one is going to be your postcard size. Postcard size, most probably every studio's personnel who is actually doing this, they will know it. But for your information's sake, this is the size, 4 inch by 6 inches the size. All right, fine. Now the next thing that you need to understand is that what are the things that you're supposed to do in those photographs. Okay, photographs, the photographs must be taken on or after 1/1/2001. Photograph. Don't take a photograph from your mobile phone and print it and all. Don't upload it like that, because uploading photograph is important. The photograph that you actually upload is to be kept with you at all times. Studio because you need a white background. You need to make sure that you are actually taking the photograph in what? In a white background. That's very important. You need to make sure that you are taking the photograph in a white background. Studio, they will know how to do it. They will know how to do it. So make sure that you are taking the photograph in a white background. And another thing that you should keep that in mind, the photograph need not be, of course, attested. There is nothing you need not attested. And some of the things actually people will be having a doubt is that how many copies of this photograph you are supposed to keep. The copies of photograph is, I'll suggest you to keep at least 8 copies of each of them. 8 copies of each of them. 8 copies which you need to have 8 copies of your passport size photo and 8 copies of your postcard size photo. Print it and keep it with you. Not copy print it, you have to keep it with you. At the time of admission, so once you complete the application process, once you complete your exam, once you secure good marks in your NEET, once you secure your admission, and when you go for your admission, you have to give photographs, and the photograph should match with the one that is application in the application. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ നീറ്റ് എഴുതിയതിനു ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ നീറ്റിന് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം നീറ്റ് എഴുതിയതിനു ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ നല്ല മാർക്ക് വാങ്ങിയതിനു ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ അഡ്മിഷൻ എടുത്തിട്ട് കൗൺസിലിങ്ങിന് പോയി, അഡ്മിഷൻ അലോട്ട്മെന്റ് ആയി, ദെൻ അഡ്മിഷന് പോകുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ കൊടുത്ത അതേ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫ് തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ അവിടെയും സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ബെറ്റർ ടു കീപ് ഓൾ ദി 8 copies of each of the photographs to be safe. അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ, മറ്റൊന്നുമില്ല. That is very important, so keep that in view. That is one thing. One of them is regarding spectacles. Spectacles Kannada vechittu photo edukkan pattumennu palarum choikkunnundu. Kannada vechi ningalku photo edukam, adinu vera tadasangalonnum illa. മനസ്സിലായോ? Kannada vechi photo edukam. Kannada നിങ്ങൾ റെഗുലർ ആയിട്ട് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കന്നഡ വെച്ച് ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഈ കന്നഡ വെച്ചിട്ടുള്ള പോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്കും വെച്ചിട്ട് ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. മേക്ക് ഷുവർ ദാറ്റ് ദ ഫോട്ടോ ഈസ് ക്ലിയർ. അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഓക്കെ. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ കുട്ടികളെല്ലാവരും തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ ശരിക്കും ഈ ഡേറ്റ് ഇതിന്റെ താഴെ, അതായത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫ് എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫിന്റെ താഴെയായിട്ട് യു ഹാവ് ടു റൈറ്റ് യുവർ നെയിം ആൻഡ് ദ ഡേറ്റ് ഓഫ് യുവർ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫ്. ഓക്കെ, പ്രിഫറബിളി ഇൻഡിക്കേറ്റിംഗ് ദ നെയിം ഓഫ് ദ കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ് അലോങ് വിത്ത് ദ ഡേറ്റ് ഓഫ് ടേക്കിംഗ് ദി ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫ്. എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? നിങ്ങൾ ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കുക. ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾക്കത് പെയിന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ഉണ്ട്, അതിൽ ചെയ്യാം. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫോട്ടോഷോപ്പിൽ ചെയ്യാം. ഫോട്ടോഷോപ്പ് കുറച്ച് ഹെവിയാണ്, ഇതിനായിട്ട് ഫോട്ടോഷോപ്പ് എടുക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമൊന്നുമില്ല. ഇതുമല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡിയോയിൽ ചെന്നാൽ സ്റ്റുഡിയോയിൽ ആളോട് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ദേ വിൽ ഡു ഇറ്റ് ഫോർ യു. Okay, the best preferred way is confusions in. If you have some confusions in that, you may make sure that you may deal with the studio person and they will do that for you. Okay, fine. I don't think it is confusing for the students. Okay, parents and the confusion may be there for parents, but the students may find it very easy to do these things. Fine. Now, the next thing is, this is the thing that you're supposed to keep in mind regarding photographs. All right. Make sure that you have 8 copies of each of these photographs and write your name and date of photograph. Name and date. Okay. Then the next important thing is, what is the size of the photograph? There is a size of the photograph, and the size of the photograph must be in between 10 KB and 200 KB. The size of the photograph must be between 10 KB and 200 KB. 10 KB and 200 KB so that you will be able to upload it. So it must be in between 10 KB and 200 KB. How can you do it? Again, you can use the softwares, namely Paint can be used. Then you can use, there is many websites, say for example, picresize.com is one website. Similarly, you can take your Google search for resize of pics, then you can use any of the websites that come in. Picresize.com, www.picresize.com is a very good website, which I generally personally used when I was a student. Okay, I used to apply for some of the examinations, and at that point of time, I used to use this website, and it is a very good website. Anyone can actually read it and try to do it. Fine. Sharing. It is actually not a very easy process to do. Okay. Now, the next thing is regarding signature. You need to actually not use a capital letter in your signature. I hope you know all these things. Then you write it on a white paper with black pen. Okay. Write it on a white paper, white plain paper with black pen. Okay. Then the file size must be between 4 KB and 30 KB. Okay, 4 KB and 30 KB. Make sure that signature match important. I hope that you know. Exam signature, admission time signature, everything should match. So I hope there are no students who have not decided what this must be. And the next thing is regarding thumb impression. This is another thing that you need to keep with you. That is your thumb impression. So what is thumb impression? You need to take your left hand thumb impression. You need to take your left hand thumb impression. Old impressions should not be used. Old impressions should not be used. Should not be used. Don't use old impressions. Palarkum. This thing changes. This is not a constant thing. This thing changes with respect to time. So don't use that. It is not a standard thing. It will change with age. We have to keep, don't use old impressions. Always use new impression itself. You have to take it and make sure that you're doing with your left hand and not with your right hand. Left hand thumb impression. And the size must be between 10 KB and 200 KB, of course. You can see that with you. Images are clear. Left hand illata kuttigal endengiലും disability ഉള്ള കുട്ടികൾക്ക് right hand എടുക്കാം. പക്ഷേ അത് disability ആയിരിക്കണം. അത് prove ചെയ്യാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പറ്റുകയും വേണം. അതും വളരെ important ആണ്. മനസ്സിലായോ? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് prove ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുകയും വേണം. അത് വളരെ important ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. Everyone make sure that is happening. Now, qualification codes in this is very important. You have to make sure that you know these qualification codes. There are 2 codes. One is for students who are passing out in 2021. That means that you are in class 12 now and you are not a repeating student. For them, the code is code 001. That will automatically come. That will automatically come. You need not select your code. Automatically, when you give that your passing year is 2021, code 1 will automatically come. But the students who have actually passed out before 2021, that means that if you are a repeating student, then you need to select your code, and most of you can select the code 02 only if you are actually a degree student. That means you are actually joined for a degree program and attending the NEET. Only those students have to select something else. Okay. If there is any student in our institute who is actually studying of that sort, you may contact us. That means that a student who is not passed out class 12 in the past 2 years, 2 or 3 years, I'm not saying the number of years. If you are actually not a student who have completed your class 12, but you have joined some other degree program, or you have done a pre-degree program, that means if your age is over, say around, I think around 10 years or 15 years older than the regular. So it means if you are around 25 plus or 30 plus or some students like that have this kind of issues. All right, fine. Now, all others have to select code 02. I'm sorry. All others have to select code 02. Code 01 is for students who are passed out in 2021. All others have to select code 02. All right. Code 02 is the one you have to select if and only if you have gone for some degree programs. You have in a final year degree, your first year degree, or second year degree. Then, of course, your code will be different. You have to read all of them and try to select the correct code for you. Now, your application, the phases of application, then you have different phases of application. The phases of application is going to be divided into 2 phases. How many phases? 2 phases. The first, you are actually applying in your first phase. First step. You are doing first step. What is the second step? When do you do the second step? That will be intimated later. Exam first step you are doing now, and the second step will be done later after examination, before result. After examination and before result. That will be intimated later. For now, you have to do only first step. Second step is not in front of you. Is that clear, everyone? That is very important thing that you need to keep in mind. The first step is to be done now, and the second step will be done later. So first step, what are the different things that you need to do in your application? I'll just read it for you. You need to have your name, your father's name, your mother's name, the date of birth, gender, nationality, identity type, identification number, address, locality, city, country. So these are things that you need to have your mobile number, you need to have your email address, mobile number, email address, application station. Make sure that you have that mobile number with you. SIM if you actually have the habit of changing your SIM cards because of any reason, any personal reason, don't use that number here. Once you use a number for your NEET application, make sure that you have that number active with you. Make sure that the email address that you use is active with you till the end of the admission process. With a mobile number, if you are using it now, make sure that you keep it. And you will not be able to, everything is actually connected through the mobile number and email address. So make sure that. Of course, district, state, password, the password, security question, security answer, security pin, all these kind of things. Okay, so these kind of things has to be done. And of course, which state from which you are actually passed your class 2, it can be. As of I'm sure you can be in any state. Like if you're studied in Kerala, you can select Kerala. If you're in Tamil Nadu, you can select Tamil Nadu. If you're in Karnataka, you can select Karnataka. If you're in any other state, you can select the name of the state. Of course, if you are from J&K, I don't think there is anyone from J&K for us as of now, from what I know. Then of course you need to select your category, general, that kind of thing. Then disability kind of thing, if you are having a disability, or if no, nothing else. Okay. Then of course, then there is another thing, that is what is it that you're actually applying for. I would always suggest you to then the exam city of choice is there. Question paper medium. There are actually students from Tamil, from I know today this time Tamil, Malayalam and Kannada are there, but always select English. I suppose everyone here is actually selecting English. No one selects this one. Just for your don't select Malayalam, Tamil or any other language that you actually like. Okay, don't do that. From this year onwards, these kind of this will also be there. This kind of new languages have been introduced. Okay, so don't make sure that you select English. Then select a city of your choice, passing, year of passing, qualifying examination, place of schooling, all these things, like qualifying examination state, qualifying examination district. Select here. Those who have studied in Chennai, select Chennai, like that. Okay. So qualifying examination board, of course, Kerala State Board, Tamil Nadu State Board, CBSE Board, this kind of boards are there. Result is there, maximum, this kind of total marks, all these things, roll number, school, passport size. Now you have your uploading your documents, and you have your uploading documents. When you're having the uploading documents, make sure that you satisfy, you keep everything ready when you're going for the application process. Okay. Conditions are ready application. Okay, then there is a self-declaration certificate that is only for your J&K candidates. Jammu and Kashmir self-declaration only for those students who are from Jammu and Kashmir need a self-declaration, others don't need it. That's it. So these are the main information. Of course, you have not applied, you have not, this is it. That's the maximum things that you need. Okay, application you need it. Then of course you have to go to your payments page, complete the payment and do everything. Make sure that everything is done. The application process into sample. You have to read everything and then confirm that there is no mistake, no spelling mistakes. No spelling mistakes or spelling mistakes are correct, and we are not sure that whether they will give a chance for you to correct the spelling. Spelling is wrong, then that's it. Your application will be rejected. So make sure that your spelling is correct. Okay, no mistakes should be there. So make sure that when you submit everything, check it once, twice, thrice before submitting. All right, very important. Now, because chances we are not very sure about it. Now, palarin choikkarilla, there are many FAQs that many students will be asking from what I could think of. Okay, ഞങ്ങൾ ആലോചിച്ചിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ റൈസ് ആലോചിച്ചിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടാവുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. All right, maximum things that we have actually included, that what we could gather from it. Okay, so certificate and reservation validity, that is an important thing. Many students might have taken, you know, that most of the certificates that are issued from your local taluk or tahsildar or whatever it may be, these kind of certificates have a validity period. This has a validity period. So when you actually upload the documents, you should make sure that you have the valid document. നിങ്ങൾ അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് വാലിഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം ടിൽ ദി ഡേറ്റ് ഓഫ് അഡ്മിഷൻ. അതായത് നിങ്ങൾ പോയിട്ട് പുതിയ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് എടുക്കേണ്ടി വരും. ഓക്കെ, യു ഹാവ് ടു ടേക്ക് എ ന്യൂ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ വാലിഡിറ്റി കഴിഞ്ഞെങ്കിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അഡ്മിഷൻ പീരീഡ് ആകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് അതിന്റെ വാലിഡിറ്റി കഴിയുമെങ്കിൽ, അഡ്മിഷൻ പീരീഡ് വിൽ ബി, യു ക്യാൻ അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ്ലി ടേക്ക് അറൌണ്ട് ഒരു നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഒരു ജനുവരി വരെയൊക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കണക്കാക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, യു ക്യാൻ കൺസിഡർ ടിൽ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ജനുവരി. അടുത്ത ജനുവരിയിലോ ഫെബ്രുവരിയിലൊക്കെ തീരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ if the validity finishes before this period, make sure that you get a new certificate and upload the new certificate. മനസ്സിലായോ? നിങ്ങൾ പഴയ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്താൽ what will happen when you upload the old certificate? That means that you upload a certificate and the validity is over. Then നിങ്ങൾക്ക് application, you will not have any difficulty in application, you will not have any difficulty in attending the exam, you will not have any difficulty in allotment. But when you go for admission, your admission will be rejected. മനസ്സിലായോ? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അപ്ലിക്കേഷന് പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, എക്സാം എഴുതാൻ പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, അലോട്ട്മെന്റിനും പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. അഡ്മിഷന് പോകുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ വാലിഡിറ്റി കഴിഞ്ഞതാണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് റിജക്റ്റഡ്. എന്ന് വെച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പിന്നെ അഡ്മിഷൻ കിട്ടുകയില്ല എന്നല്ല, അഡ്മിഷൻ കിട്ടും. സെക്കൻഡ് അലോട്ട്മെന്റിൽ യു വിൽ ഹാവ് എ ചാൻസ്. മനസ്സിലായോ? സെക്കൻഡ് അലോട്ട്മെന്റിൽ യു വിൽ ഹാവ് എ ചാൻസ്, ദാറ്റ് ടു വിത്തൗട്ട് റിസർവേഷൻ. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ മേക്ക് ഷുവർ ദാറ്റ് യു ഹാവ് യുവർ റിസർവേഷൻ. അത് ഇപ്പൊ അല്ല, യു സ്റ്റാർട്ട് യുവർ വർക്ക് നൗ ആൻഡ് മേക്ക് ഷുവർ ദാറ്റ് യു വിൽ ഹാവ് ഇറ്റ് ബൈ സെപ്റ്റംബർ ആകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ അപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് കിട്ടിയാൽ മതി. കാരണം എക്സാമിന് ശേഷം ബിഫോർ ദ റിസൾട്ട്, അതാണ് NTA ഇപ്പൊ ആസ് ഓഫ് നൗ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ദാറ്റ് you will have to upload the reservation certificates or PWD certificate or whatever it may be, whatever certificates that is associated with you, you have to upload that. When should you upload it? When should you upload it? You have to upload it during after the examination, after September 12, before the date of results. That is not yet set, right? So that we know. Now, next is regarding your photographs that are used for your, that is very important. Everyone should make sure that this is done. Then, of course, regarding whether you have to use the same photo for KEAM and NEET, that is not yet mentioned. Because these are two completely different entities conducting the examination. We are not sure of it. Better do the same. Okay, but it is use the same one. If not, go ahead, but make sure that NEET and apply another. You have some application for NEET, right? So you need to apply in the photographs. What you should think remember is that this photographs is the one that you have to paste in your application form. That when you are actually going for your admissions, you need to have a photo of that, a copy of that photo with you. Same photo. What is the application photo? The same photo that you used for your application process should be kept with you till this admission period is over. Okay, that is very important. At least keep some photos with you. Admission period is over. KEAM and NEET, there is nothing mentioned because these are two completely different entities. We are not sure about that thing. I don't know, but it is possible that you can use two different ones. Then the use of specs, that I already mentioned that earlier. You can use specs if you are a regular user of specs. That's it. But make sure that your eyes and all are visible when you are using the specs. Completely glare. That's it. Then when you're actually applying, sometimes you may face this thing, phone number already exists problem. You apply that your phone number already exists. That means that there is some kind of error that has happened. In such errors, you have to wait for 24 hours. Wait for 24 hours and try again. After that, that means that they have said that they will actually update it. That means that if your phone number actually exists, okay, phone number actually exists, but your application is not done, or application number register then automatically application number, there will be an application number will be generated. Application number generated, then there is a possibility you have to try after 24 hours. Exam centers abroad is only Kuwait as of now. No other centers have been specified. So if you are actually outside India, you have to write it in Kuwait, and the fee is actually different, 7,500. So you have to make a decision. Okay, if you feel that you will write it in Kerala and then you go to Kuwait, then you are not able to come back. It will be an issue. If you decide that you are right now in Kuwait, you will come here and then write it, then that may not happen. So once you decide a center, then please be at that place. Don't change your places. Okay, So how many copies of photos are needed? Keep 8 with you. Is passport size and postcard size same? No, they are not same. Then person with disabilities, person with disabilities and you can contact us because it is a lengthy thing to say. But if there is anyone who is there in our students who are actually a disabled student, you can actually contact us. We will give the information because there are a lot of things to say. So I will not wish to say that. Then of course, we'll be actually sending you a copy of the application process also to you. The application process into a replica document. And so you can actually do that. You can see that document. We have sent that document. So read that document. Okay, so read that document, and in case of any doubts, you can actually ask us. So click here, new registration. Once you do that, you can fill all the details here. Okay, the new registration. So new registration students, click here, then download the document, of course, and click here to proceed. Fill all the details that I have actually sent. Okay, so you can actually do that. All these informations are there. Present all these things, like fill up all these things individually. Then of course you have your permanent address, you have to choose your password, and when you submit, you have a submit. Okay, when you actually submit, then you press final submit. Okay, before actually pressing this final submit, actually in the first step itself, registration, this is actually divided into two parts. There is a registration and application. So registration partly, when you give a final submit, an application number will be generated for you, and application number will be generated. Application number will be generated. So once this application number is generated, you will not be able to change certain things. Okay, verify that you don't make any mistakes. Mistake confusing. We are not very sure about what are the things that they will allow. So make sure that if you ask me, I made a mistake while I was doing the registration process, can I change it during application? We are not sure of all these things. Okay, we are not sure. So better may not make any mistake. Double check, triple check before doing any kind of submission. Okay, so once you submit this, that is the registration part, after giving your name, father's name, mother's name, date of birth, gender, nationality, then your identification number, that is means that your Aadhaar card, whatever it is. So address, locality, town, all these kind of information, mobile number, alternate contact number, address, then kind of set your password and security question, security PIN, and then you submit. An application number will be generated, and only using that application number and that password, you can log in again and then do the next step of the admission. Okay, fine, very good. Then registration complete, then you have to go for your application form. In the application form, you have to actually upload all the documents. Okay, you have to upload all the documents, you have to do all the documents, and you have to keep this application number with you always. Okay, you have to keep the application number with you. You have to note down the application number and write down the password and keep it somewhere. Okay, keep it somewhere, save it somewhere. Always use good passwords. Okay, so don't keep it NIKHIL at 123 passwords. That is also advisable. That is advisable. That's it. Then of course you have to give all the information regarding your education details and uploading all the documents, and then you have to go for your submit. Okay, then you have to upload all these things. You have to read these things before actually going into application. Your document will also be sent to you, and if you have any doubt in that portions, you may actually say. Then of course paisa, you should remember, you can actually then in the end you will have a confirmation page. That is what I'm actually showing to you now. You will have a confirmation page. A confirmation page, every detail regarding your application will be kept. So before you have to keep that and keep a printout of that thing with you. All right, copy printout is always good for you. Okay, fine. Once you submit everything, once you do all the payment, a new application page will be actually developed, will be generated for you. Okay, the confirmation page will be generated. Now, when you do the payment, make sure that correct make sure that you have some extra, because there is something called as GST. So, okay, what is the GST going to be levied? I'm not very sure of it. So make sure that you have some extra, at least 2,000 rupees application, or else the application payment will be failed. Okay, so that's thing. So these are the basic information that we would like to provide to you. These are the basic information that we would like to provide to you. These documents will be sent to you. Read these documents, understand everything. Of course, when I am actually sending this video to you, we might have missed out on a lot of things. Okay, miss out. Okay, I might have missed some of the things that actually you have doubts on. So if you have doubts on any things that I actually missed out on, you may very well call us, or you may very well message us. Message will be better. Okay, instead of calling, you just message with us. We'll make sure that if it may say because so many students and so many questions coming in, it may take some time, but still we will reply to every of your message. Okay, and if you don't see a reply within say 12 or 24 hours, then just intimate us once again. Okay, there is always a possibility. And when there are many students and many questions coming in, there is a chance that we might get missed out. It is a human possible around. Get back to us. Okay, application should be done by you, and every important thing that you should remember is that never give the information about the coaching center, the coaching center number or coaching center information. So the application that is not required for you. You should always keep the information that your personal information, so nothing else should be given. All right. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. In case of any doubts, you may please contact us. We will be actually helping you out in case of any doubts that you will develop. In the contact. All right. So thank you for watching this video. And of course, I will be posting one more video regarding the change in pattern and how it should be done. അതിന് പ്രിപ്പറേഷനിൽ മാറ്റം വരുത്തേണ്ടതെന്നുള്ളതും കൂടി പറഞ്ഞും കൊണ്ടൊരു വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇന്ന് തന്നെ വരും. ഇന്നല്ലെങ്കിൽ നാളെ ആയിട്ട് വരും. ഓക്കെ, ഇന്നോ നാളെയോ ആയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിന്റെ വീഡിയോസും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കിട്ടും. I just need to discuss with all the teachers and get everyone's opinion. എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഒപ്പീനിയൻസ് എടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം I will get back to you regarding that. All right. Fine. So continue your preparations. എല്ലാവരും നന്നായി പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുക. എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വിളിക്കുക. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ application should be completed by 20th July, and the students whose class 12 results have not come, you will not be able to complete at given time because നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. All right. So you have to complete the application by at the earliest in the matra. All right. So hopefully you do well in your examination, complete the application process, and get back to us in case of any doubts. Thank you for watching this. Okay. Sure.